All right, all right, all right. I'm almost there. Give me just a sec. I think I got it. I think I got it. Just checking on these streams. Well, anyway, welcome in. Welcome in. Let me find myself here. All right. Okay. So this is, I bring it every day. My name is Kelly, and this is going to be a few moments of motivation. It's a little late on Monday, but here I am. We're going to talk about starting the week off right with a positive mindset, making a few plans, and then execute those plans. And then we're going to, move forward and grow. And that's really what it is. Every day you want to become a better person. All right, now. I'm gonna look at the stream real quick. Let me see if anybody came in. We got Miss Suzanne. Oh, I see Kal-El's here. Hello, good to see you. Bring the grooves. I want to break dance. Nice. And let's see. Is that your husband? That is not. That is one of my YouTube friends, and his name is Drizzle Stank. And he stopped doing YouTube, much to my chagrin. But he's very talented. Yes. So good to see you. So good to see you. And hey, Suzanne. All right, now. Let's see if anybody popped in here. Uh, yeah, I'm just checking here. Oh, there we go. All right, so I want to make sure. There we go. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right, just check it. Okay, so here we go. It's November. We're starting a new month. We're still in the last quarter, right? Let's see. Let's see. Was it November? See, December 11. Yeah, 10 October. Yeah, so we're in the last quarter of the year. It's crazy. I try not to think about quarters because I think it's a little too short for planning. But the whole thing is okay. So I just want to give you just a little information I learned about November. So this is interesting. So I'm going to read this first. So November is the 11th month of the year, but back in and around 153 BCE, uh, they changed the calendar. So November was actually the ninth month because NOV means nine. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because I was always wondering, like, the names of these months, what the heck do they mean? There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes between the explanation of how the months change. So, originally, there was in the Roman calendar, November was called Mensis November, which means the ninth month. And at the time, the Roman calendar started in March. Yes. And then they voted in 154 BCE, and they changed the beginning of the year to January instead of March. So November was the ninth month. Now it's the 11th month. So just to make things very confusing. And Julius Caesar, was in charge of the Julian calendar. And originally, November, let's see, how many days did they say? It was shorter than 30 days. So it was 23 days, and then they changed it to 30 days. So it's crazy, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, just a little history on November. So it's very interesting. It's the ninth month, allegedly, going back. All right, now. So there's that. So just this is interesting how the calendars have changed. Because remember, there's the Gregorian calendar, the Julian calendar. Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, there's that. Now, basically, November, the way I think about it is it's the gratitude month because in the U.S. and actually Canada, I don't know other places, but there's the Thanksgiving is coming up, and usually it's really a big family day, and for me that was always the big thing. It wasn't really about the food. It was about, although the food is a nice bonus, it was really about family getting together and trying to have some gratitude. Now we've heard the whole Thanksgiving story, and there's a whole lot of controversy about that. But and so for the native, the indigenous or the Native Americans, it's not a happy day. But allegedly, they got together and hung out and tried to exchange. It was like a cultural. They say it was a cultural exchange. I'm not so sure about that, but that's what they say. So just thinking about that, you have a couple months left, to finish out the year. And like always say, if there's anything that you want to do, you have to do it, yesterday, basically. Today. Yeah. And today's the time. If there's anything about your life that you're unhappy about, you got to change it. So this is the time to do it. So there's that. All right now. So anyway, I'm going to check the chat, see what the chatters are saying, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. So yes. Oh, funny. That was still, yeah, that was still the calendar in Christ time. Yeah, that's a long time ago, right? Yeah, 153 BCE. That's when they changed it. So it's really interesting, how everything has changed. Like I said, they've gone through it. So, but like I said, unfortunately, the year is basically over. I hate to put it in that negative term, but when you think about it, it's almost a wrap. So you got to keep it moving. Well, so and the other thing that happens at this time of year, we just had daylight savings time changeover, and so it's kind of the autumn. Autumn is in the northern hemisphere, and then it's spring in the southern hemisphere of the world. So that's kind of interesting. So they're looking more towards summer, and we're looking more towards winter, which is very, very cool. And let's see. So the November flower, they're saying, is the chrysanthemum. Yeah, which are really pretty. And so you see, if you go out in right now, actually probably started like around, let's see, this is what, November the 3rd. Around, I didn't see, I saw, we call them mums, but chrysanthemums, they came out late, a little bit late this year, I thought. Really didn't see them until might have been mid October. They were kind of late. Usually they come out just a skosh earlier, but the chrysanthemum is one of the things that people look forward to every year, and they're gorgeous, and they're all different colors, and mostly fall colors, so they talk about that. Yes. And let's see. So November is the last month of fall in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, and it's the last month of spring in the southern hemisphere. There we go. Okay. But that is interesting. Let's see what else. There's supposed to be the Leonid meteor showers coming around the 17th of October. I don't know what areas are going to be able to see that, but it's shaped like a lion. So it's going to be a meteor shower. So that's coming. And what else happened? Let's see. Oh, so they were talking about, so the first dog that they sent to space, the Russians, it was in Sputnik 2. The dog's name was Laika or Yapper, which is a great name. I love it. All right. So today we're going to talk just a few affirmations, and I found a pretty good affirmation. So like I said, it's the end of the year. Keep it going. You got to keep it moving. And that's really all I ever say during these motivational things. You've got to keep it moving. And but don't let the year end up. So the one little thing that I want to say is a lot of people kind of slow down, especially in the northern hemisphere. They slow down this time of year because if we think about it, all the holidays get started. So Thanksgiving is around the 25th of November. Actually, election day is tomorrow in my area. I think for everyone, but in the United States, election day is tomorrow. So if you want to get out there and make your vote count, you got to get out there and make your vote count. And so that's really it. Yeah. So that's kind of what's happening. So we have, like I said, we have election day. Veterans Day is coming up as well. So you want to support the veterans, at least let them know that you appreciate the sacrifices that they've done. For to keep, especially United States, to keep the people free, but also veterans all over the world, really. You know. So there's that. And then, like I said, Thanksgiving around the 25th. Um, and then I just avoid like the rest of the stuff. So I'm not a fan of all the shopping that happens, during the holiday season. And it's just because I feel like it's going to be a lot of people really put themselves out in a bad way that they may run out of money trying to, I guess, do what the Joneses are doing, you know what I mean, and buying all this random crap we probably don't need. And that's just, my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about that. But let's see. Oh, we got Miss Michi's here. Hey, thank you so much. She's been a member a long time. Yes. And we have Miss Laura's Block Ministries. Thanks for coming. And we got Susan E. Yes. Oh, it's Shatika. Nice. You guys just snuck in, but thank you. Okay. Yes. And you sent a marshmallow. Nice. I enjoy marshmallows. I haven't had those in a while, but thank you so much. So let's do this for Michi. Let's see if I can pull this together. All right. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. Oh, that's what friends are for. All right, thank you, Michi. That's or actually, is it me? Is it Mickey? It should be Mickey, right? I keep you gotta let me know. It should be Mickey, but I appreciate it. Yeah, that marshmallow hand looks yummy. Yes, I love marshmallow. Yes, and we are sneaky. Yes, that's nice. And thank you for the other flower. That's wonderful. Let's see. Oh, let's do a little dance. I remember this. I haven't. I was thinking about this song last night. Here we go. Let's dance. It'll be okay. Do do do. Let's dance. Let the record play. Do do do. Let's dance. It'll be okay. Do do. Let's dance. 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 All right. So that's the other jam. I used to do that one. I haven't done that in a while, so forgive me. It's been a minute. But anyway, I've been getting over this like in you know cough. I cannot get rid of this stupid cough. So I have to go out and get some real I have to do I mean I'm going to start doing some herbal. I have to do some herbal stuff to get rid of this cough. So I'm lucky that I'm able to squeak something out this morning. But thank you so much. Let's see what else everybody's saying here. Yes, my internet has been in and out, could not join in. I know. It's brutal. Yeah, it has been kind of weird, the whole thing with the internet. Yeah, ours has been kind of glitchy too for the last few weeks. And yep, everyone's saying hi. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, so today, or Susan, actually. Yes, thank you. That's actually Susan. Yep. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so the other day, it was kind of weird. I've been fighting. So anyway, I got somebody coughed on me about 2 weeks ago, and I've been feeling weird ever since. It's been like a slow kind of thing. And I just, I've been trying to do the natural stuff like teas and stuff like that. And it's brutal. It's so brutal. So I'm just praying that I can not get really sick, but I've been feeling just a little weird in there. But yeah, thank you so much. All right, so let's see what we got here. Yes. Oh, yes, and thank you to all those who support the channel. Oh, and while I'm going to do this real quick. And like I said, thank you to all the subscribers and the members. And it really does keep the channel going. I've been doing a little mailing, and boy, I'll blow through that mailing really fast. You'd be shocked at how much mailing that I don't know if you've seen, but I just went to the post office the other day, and everything really has gone up. And well, everything's going up. I guess that's what it is. And it's just really sad because I used to be able to put out a lot of stuff. But anyway, well let's get back to the motivation. So like I said, you got to work your plan, do the best that you can to finish the year out, and don't get caught up in all this spending, like I said, I'm trying to do a little more volunteering, a little more just trying to get out and help people whenever I can. And I've been really looking at a lot of these food banks, and they're I don't know how these people are going to survive, and they're saying that they need more donations. So I'm going to try to get out there and do more of that kind of stuff for them, because it's kind of a curious time right now. But I will say I found this little affirmation thing at the Dollar Tree, which is really interesting, and it's called Inspirational Words to Live By. So I'll show you this one here. All right, but anyway, let's do this first, and I'll do this. Okay, hang on. This is thank you to the members for the love and support. And also thank you to the subscribers too. And these are people who've really stuck by me on this channel. It's been very, very, I've been at this 3 years, and boy, I'll tell you, time flies. So I just like to say thank you so much. And also Bela the dog channel has been really helping me out, with my crocheting, which is pretty awesome. Yes. So anyway, I'm going to put that back in there. And we're growing, we're growing, we're going to keep it growing. So thank you so much for the support. All right. But here we go. And so here he goes. Shine your light. And this is what you have to do for the remainder part of the year. Let me put that in there so you can see. Shine your light. Because right now we're living in crazy negative times and it's hard, so you really have to work. You have to get out of your way. You really have to go out of your way, a lot of people, to do things that are positive. So I'm going to say just keep that going. So shine your light. I'm going to show a few of these. Never forget your worth. Everybody has gifts that they can give the world. And your gift is not my gift is not your gift. And it's okay. Like you can't be great at everything. But you work those gifts that you have. And the thing that I've been working on, I guess, over the last few years is finding my voice. Find your own voice. And that's a really big deal. And I'll just speak to that one a little bit. Finding your own voice. I grew up in a family where kids were silent. They were seen but not heard. And so you really weren't allowed to have an opinion about anything. And I think, unfortunately, the downside to that is that when you see wrong and you let wrong continue, like, in other words, if you see wrong, you got to speak up against it. But also, if you see good, you got to call that out as well. And I think a lot of people really appreciate, if you support them, if you give them positive feedback on things that they're doing. And so always say, you gotta, it's good to, you gotta call out the bad stuff, whichever way you can. And then, but also call out the good stuff that people do. All right. And we've talked about this one. Do more of what makes you happy. And when I say that, I'm talking more about, like, once again, I'm going to stick with the positive things. So, a lot of time, like, I know I used to play instruments, and I put those down when I got a little older, and I kind of regret that. But it did, I tinker around a little bit, and I'm not ready for a concert or anything like that. But one day, you know, I want to try to get back to some of that stuff that I used to do. And so one of the things that I used to do was the with the yarn, was the knitting and crocheting. So I've been doing a lot more of that. And so that's why my focus it's been a little bit narrow, but I need to get out. I want to get out and do some more things. And there's all, like I said, if there's things that you want to try, like, do it. There's nothing wrong with trying things. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Let's see. And I'm going to take a second here. We got 10 people. Thanks for coming in and thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see. Oh, we got New Horizons. Good to see you. Came in. And let's see. Did I miss one? Da, 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 da. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. Now, Susan E's making socks. 4 double points. Okay. Good for you. Yeah, this is a good sock time. That's correct. Yes, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've been tinkering and tinkering and tinkering. And at one point, I'm gonna get my act together. I got to stop tinkering and, like, finish some stuff. And I finished a couple of projects, but I'll show those later. Um, still, I gotta do a little blocking and things like that. But that's the thing there. And then remember what I was saying, like calling out. You call out the positive, you call out the negative. But if there's things that if there's change that you want to see, you should be the change that you want to see. Yeah. Now that's and like I said, I'm not that person, who says, "Oh, let's do that." This is all, newer in my development, I guess, as a person. But anyway, but I'll show you this. Even though I'm not sponsored by the Dollar Tree, I'll show you this thing. But anyway, it comes on a spiral. See, $1.25. But it's inspirational words to live by. It's a flip book. You can put this on your desk. And it's got a little, like, easel. There we go. But I'm going to read some of these. But I like to shine your light. We talked about that. Be the light. And then the other thing is, and this is a big one, doubting yourself. Do not doubt yourself. Because a lot of people, They may not see your vision, but it's okay if they don't. But if you feel moved to do something, you got to do it. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and this is a good one. I like this one too. This is interesting. This one says the way you speak to yourself matters. And like we can be our own worst critics. And the whole thing is you want to be positive toward yourself. And and everybody in life, you're going to make mistakes, but you just have to adjust those mistakes. But don't beat yourself up, you know. Yeah. And then here it is. This is good. Yeah. Focus on the good. Yeah. Try to take your focus away from the negative stuff cuz it does pull you under, you know what I mean? And you don't want to go under. That's at least in my opinion. You got to live your life, but you can't let negative people or negative news. And I don't watch the news, and that's the reason I don't watch it because it's very negative. And yeah, it's brutal. Let's see. We got Cruz Bolero. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to take a little second here. And yes, okay, so we got some people. Yeah. So we're doing it, So that, like I said, I started this motivational stuff because I think I was sort of it was like a combination of a lot of things. But I remember, like, I met up with some high school. There were a couple of things that happened. I met up with some high school people. I hadn't seen them in like 20 years. It was a long time. I hadn't seen them in years. And we hung out at somebody's vacation house. We were just chilling. It was great. And it was funny, even though we hadn't seen each other in that amount of time, because we all lived in opposite ends of the country and everything. We realized that we had a lot in common. It's the funniest thing. Hadn't talked to them in years. Just talked about, family and home and school and like your future plans and what you're trying to do and things like that. And I was just like, this is crazy. I have so much in common with these people, and I've like neglected them, and I have some regret about that. But like we chat here and there, on Facebook, and so that's a beautiful thing, and that's what social media. That's the good part of social media, you know. But the second reason that I started the motivational stuff is that I felt like we were kind of, living in kind of a really negative time. And I forget when that was. I want to say 20 at the end of 2022. Or is it 23? It's almost been 2 years now. It's been about 2 years. But the long story short was I had seen like a lot of negative stuff on social media, and I just went, God, this is awful, you know, because it's just unnecessary. Like, it's one of those things, if you don't like what people are doing, you just click. You can click off and move. But, like, there were like a lot of trolls and stuff like that. And I don't know, I'm not sure like why people, they just feel like, I guess the keyboard warriors, they can do and say whatever they can behind the scenes. But it takes a lot of courage, to come out and do stuff online. It really does. Yeah. So let's see. Yes. Everybody's saying hi. Yeah. So so it is interesting. But that's really like just some of the things that I wanted to talk about. So like I said, we're in the last quarter. And so try to do something positive for yourself, whether it's, and I'm not like a big investor or money, but I really think like the last quarter with the holidays really gets people up in arms. I think silently. People keep it quiet. But I think a lot of times, because they feel like they have to spend a lot of money and buy a lot of gifts and things. And a lot of people, right now are suffering because people are losing jobs and stuff like that. And, so I would say, listen, if you're going through like one of those horrible financial situations, like you have nothing to apologize for if you decide not to participate in all of this, economic spending. And I really challenge people to really rethink, how they view all these things. Because like I said, a lot of people, I know in the United States, like we're very fortunate. I think most people are doing okay in the United States financially, but there's people that aren't doing well. I mean, for sure. But for the most part, most of us have places to stay and food to eat and a little bit of clothing, right? But there are, like if you compare, like I've been to, South America, and where people are really, you know, lacking, financially, where there's, the food is scarce, money is scarce, food is scarce, clothing scarce, all the things that you need to survive. And we're very fortunate here, at least I think, that we have clean water, we have somewhat have health care. I shouldn't laugh, but you know what I'm saying. Like we all have access, and we have access to education, which is good. It's not cheap, but we have access. We have access to a lot of positive things in the United States. And if you're here, you really should take advantage of those things when you can. If you want to go back to school, you go back to school. There's and I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying how she was from like California area, and she said there were a lot of free classes and things for people in the community that I thought was really cool. Like I don't think we have those here where I am. Like it's not free, unfortunately, but I think we do have access to things. So if you want to get better at the computer, you want to learn how to program, maybe do that help desk stuff. Like a lot of this stuff is easy to do online, and I think that's the beauty of it. Although I'm not a fan of online learning, because sometimes I think you just need somebody to sit next to you, or at least across from you, and say, "Hey, that's wrong. You need to fix that," or whatever. They can give you like the immediate feedback, and you know, and you have videos. You can always go on YouTube and look at videos and things like that. But I would say, to get through some of this negative stuff, you have to do what inspires you. You know what I mean? And don't waste time on anything else. And I heard somebody on YouTube, I'll say the woman on the internet, somebody on the internet was saying how they don't have time to listen to gossip and mean-spirited stuff like that. And I said, "Wow, that's pretty smart. That's a smart way, because you're wasting time on other things that you could be doing to enrich yourself." You know what I mean? So I went, okay, I see you. I got you there. So there we go. Trying to think. Yes. Oh, here we go. We see this a lot too. People say kindness matters. If you see somebody in need, if you walk away, it's kind of brutal. And a lot of times it's just like, if you see somebody in the supermarket and they're looking kind of sad, and you just kind of go, "Hey," you kind of nod at them. It just kind of shows them that you see them. You know what I mean? So a little bit of kindness. Oh, and then here's a good one, and I think I'm gonna probably close on this one. I kind of like this one too. So this is: be bright, be happy, be you. And what the way I interpret this is, and see, the thing that's highlighted here is be you. Like, don't be afraid to be yourself. A lot of people always say, "Oh, I don't," there's like negative stuff about, you're too short, you're too tall, you're too heavy, you're too this, blah 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 blah. Like, you are where you are where you're supposed to be. That's what I'm trying to say. And you are what you are. Like I said, the most high doesn't make mistakes. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be what you are. And it's okay to be what you are. And you can be different, from other people. And that's okay. But I think, in the old world, like I know when I was younger, like we were all kind of encouraged to be the same, and to almost do the same things, and be the same way, and think the same way, and do that kind of stuff. But I think that is not real. And so, and I think a lot of people spend time trying to be different than who they really are. Yeah. So there's that. But like I said, it's November, and like I said, there's a few things coming up in the month. And but like I said, try to, for those crafters, enjoy your crafting. And enjoy, like I said, I enjoy crafting. For me, it's like a, not a mental health thing, but I just like to see like what I could do. And whatever the craft is, it's good. And let me see what did Suzanne said. Oh, she's making socks, something I only do for myself. Oh, that's cool. And see, because throughout the rest of the year I make stuff for donations and family. Yes, she does. She does. And that's impressive. I got to say, she really does you do a lot. And oh, we got Cranky Spinster. Hello, welcome in. Aminographic. Sorry, I cannot read this. Amino Aminographic. Aminographic on Instagram. Thanks for. Oh my gosh, I cannot read today. But there we are. So that's the evil plan with Motivation Monday. I hope that it kind of inspires you to go forward, have a good week, do the best that you can. Do be, do right by yourself, do right by other people, and make something pretty. You know what I mean? And I always say, or make something cool, make something different. Because like I said, now, and I just thought about this. With a lot of the price of the crafting items and things are going up in price. So this is the time to get in those thrift stores if you don't have a lot of cash. Get in those thrift stores because you do find some really good stuff. I found some pretty cool stuff. And and I'll show you guys. I'm gonna make a video about it, but I found some interesting stuff in there, and at least it's a little less expensive, and we're not filling the landfills, and then you can just pass it on, and so that's really the thing, and that's my plan too, is to try to pass on a little bit of what I know to people so that these art forms don't pass away. Yeah, yes, yes. So let's see. Yeah, but the socks are great. And that's amazing. I've only done one sock. I said one day I will get myself together um to make some more socks, but we'll see. You know, but like I said, I've been working on so many things. And I did do some donations, and I want to try to like ramp that up for next year, just thinking ahead, you know. And been doing that. So I did some shawls, some prayer shawls, for a friend of mine's ministry. So I got to get, I'm trying to I gotta crank through a little bit faster to get those done. And doing a few tutorials here and there, so that's pretty cool. But I think that's it. That's the plan of the I Bring It Every Day channel. And I really, appreciate everybody coming in and checking out the channel. And let me know, give me any feedback if there's something and like I said, I don't mind if people don't agree, or if they disagree, that's fine. But like I said, get out there and vote tomorrow, and make your voice heard. That's the thing. Oh, let's see. Oh, I like this. Susan saying, "I'm so stocked up on craft supplies. I'm set." Yeah, I think a lot of us are, and that's for sure. But but if you ever need anything, that's the place to go. And I've noticed that people are really purging a lot of their supplies. So I'm like, ooh, it's kind of scary. I mean, it's weird how like things are really. I just noticed people are just shuffling through stuff, and if you guys are interested in maybe shuffling through stuff, I don't know how we can do it as a group, but I was thinking it. Well, one way you can do it is if you can find a local group, and Suzanne has a local group. I have a couple of groups that I go to where we trade supplies and things like that. And I think that barter system is really good. If you can do it, because we all have a lot, so that's the plan, is to get it to people who can use it, especially if you're not using it. And and I'm guilty, and all this stuff behind me I haven't used in a year. I thought I was going to use more, did not. So I got to work on that. That's on the bucket list. But yes, it's crazy. Let's see. Let me check the chat real quick before I go. Oh, thank you for the inspiration. Oh, you're welcome. I really appreciate. I'm hoping that people get something out of it, because, like I said, you gotta keep your mind. You gotta keep looking forward, and it's sometimes it's hard to do that. I mean, I'm guilty. Like sometimes I look back, and I shouldn't look back all the time, but I do. You gotta look forward, and and that was, like I said, I put this yarn behind me to kind of say, okay, Kelly, you got this yarn. it's all like similar colors and stuff, and it's similar, some of it's wool. And I said, and I had this evil plan of making a wool blanket. It didn't happen. So I got to get on that. See, and that's where I'm at. But I'm working on some gifts, and that's what I'm doing right now. And because it is gift season, and I said, and we have enough supplies, right? Yep. Susan, it's funny. Yeah, and you're not the only one. We are all kind of guilty of that. But yeah, there it is. All right. So anyway, well, thank you all so much for the likes, and I'll give you. Let me put his. I'll put his handle in the stream real quick. But this is this is Drizzle. So Drizzle Stink did my theme song. He's pretty funny. But that's his handle right there. Making sure I spelled it right. Yes. So that's his that's his handle. And he doesn't really do a lot of content anymore, but he did do my theme song, which I enjoy. Yeah. All right, so there it is. So we're gonna say peace and love and thank you, and I'm gonna play out to Drizzle wherever he is. And thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you all soon. But here we go.
When does she bring it? Every day.
Every day.
How often does she bring it? Every day.
Every day.
Knitting, crafting, singing, even crochet.
Every day.
When does she bring it?
Every
Every
day.
day. I bring it every day.
Every day.
Bring it every day.
Every day.
I bring it every day.
Every day.
Bring it every day. When does she bring it? Every day. How often does she bring it?
Every day.
Knitting, crafting, singing,
Every
crochet.
day.
When does she bring it?
Every day.
Cooking up something hot on Friday night. Come and stop by. I bring it every day.
Every day.
All right, and we'll see you soon. Oh, I see somebody just popped in. Oh, Jersey loves Steph. Hey, good to see you. Thank you so much. But yeah, check it out. You can rewind. That's a little YouTube tip you can always do. Just slide that thing backwards, and you can go back in the beginning. But thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate you. All right, now see you soon.